You think video games are just for kids and streamers? Think again. Behind every flashy console launch and viral game trailer lies a multi-billion-dollar battlefield, one that's shaping the future of tech, media, and your investments. Welcome to Econ Barbarian, where I'm your finance maverick, and today we're diving headfirst into a burning question. Is the gaming industry in the midst of a historic boom, or a bubble about to burst? As of August 2025, this $200 billion juggernaut is showing signs of overheating, from skyrocketing budgets to market saturation. This isn't just about fun and pixels, it's a financial frenzy with cracks starting to show. Buckle up, let's start with the big picture. The global gaming market is now worth over $250 billion, with projections pushing it toward $300 billion by 2027. Console gaming alone rakes in more than $60 billion annually, while mobile gaming dominates with over $120 billion, fueled by 3 billion players worldwide. That's more people than watch the Super Bowl every year. Sony's PlayStation and Microsoft's Xbox together control over 70% of the console market, with the PlayStation 5 hitting 65 million units sold since 2020 and Xbox Series nearing 40 million. PC gaming adds another $40 billion, driven by platforms like Steam, which boasts over 120 million active users. But here's the twist. This growth isn't uniform. While Asia-Pacific, led by China with $45 billion in revenue, powers nearly half the market, North America and Europe contribute $50 billion and $33 billion respectively. Emerging markets like Latin America and the Middle East are surging too, with mobile downloads up 15% year-over-year. Yet, beneath this boom lies a question. Can an industry this big keep expanding without hitting a ceiling? Take John from LA, who says, "I've spent $200 on in-game purchases this year. Am I fueling a bubble? This cash flow is massive, but it's raising eyebrows." Now, let's talk red flags. Gaming budgets are ballooning. Top-tier titles like Grand Theft Auto 6 are rumored to cost $300 million, including marketing. That's more than some Hollywood blockbusters. In 2024, AAA game development teams swelled to hundreds, with production cycles stretching 5 years or more. Compare that to the 1990s, when a game like Super Mario 64 launched with a $5 million budget. This escalation means studios are risk-averse, churning out sequels like Call of Duty or FIFA rather than bold new IPs. Over 70% of 2024's top releases were remakes or updates. Then there's the workforce crunch. Layoffs hit 10,000 developers in 2024 alone, with giants like Activision and EA cutting staff despite record profits. Why? Overhiring during the pandemic boom left companies bloated, and now they're trimming fat. Add in a 5% drop in global mobile downloads outside Asia, signaling saturation, and you've got a recipe for instability. Sarah from London notes, "I love gaming, but $70 for a new title feels steep when half the content is recycled." Is this industry overheating, or just hitting a natural pause? Let's zoom into the players. Microsoft's Xbox is betting big on subscriptions with Game Pass, often called the Netflix of gaming. For $10 to $17 monthly, it offers over 400 titles, boasting 40 million subscribers by mid-2025. That's $7 billion in recurring revenue annually. The 2023 $69 billion Activision Blizzard acquisition added juggernauts like Call of Duty and Candy Crush, while earlier buys like Bethesda, Elder Scrolls, built a content fortress. Microsoft's gaming division now rivals its Windows business, valued at over $120 billion, or 10% of its $1.2 trillion market cap. But here's the gamble. Game Pass loses money per user, estimated at $2-3 per month, relying on scale and ad revenue to offset costs. In 2025, Microsoft tested in-game ads, sparking backlash from 30% of users on forums. Plus, cloud gaming via Azure targets low-penetration markets like India, where 20 million new gamers joined in 2024. If this bet pays off, Microsoft could dominate. If it flops, it's a $69 billion misstep. Tom from Seattle asks, is Game Pass a genius move or a house of cards? Sony's PlayStation sticks to the old-school playbook. Sell consoles, lock in exclusives. The PS5's 65 million units sold dwarf Xbox's 40 million, generating $28 billion in gaming revenue in 2024, with 30% profit margins on digital sales. Blockbusters like God of War and Spider-Man aren't just games, they're billion-dollar franchises driving hardware sales. Sony's PlayStation Plus Premium, with 25 million subscribers, adds $3 billion yearly, blending online play with a game library. Yet Sony's not standing still. It's porting exclusives to PC, like Horizon Forbidden West, and eyeing mobile with a 2025 pilot project. But cloud gaming lags. Its Azure partnership hasn't matched Microsoft's in-house Azure push, and rural markets show only 10% adoption. Sony's $100 billion market cap leans heavily on PlayStation's 30% revenue share, leaving little room for error. If hardware sales stall, as predicted with a 5% drop in 2026 forecasts, Sony could feel the heat. Jane from Tokyo wonders, can Sony keep up without a cloud edge? The war's moving to the cloud, and the metaverse is the next frontier. Microsoft's Azure powers Xbox cloud gaming, streaming AAA titles to 15 million users in 2025, up 50% from last year. In Brazil, where only 5% own consoles, cloud adoption jumped 25%, proving its reach. Sony's cloud efforts, reliant on third-party deals, lag at 5 million users, with vague 2019 Azure talks stalling. Then there's the metaverse hype. PwC predicts a $280 billion market by 2025, with gaming as the entry point. Titles like Fortnite and Roblox already host 100 million monthly users, blending virtual worlds with real money, $500 million in Roblox transactions alone in 2024. But adoption's shaky. VR headset sales hit just 10 million units yearly, and 40% of users quit within 3 months due to motion sickness. Is this a goldmine or a mirage? Mike from Sydney says, I bought a VR set, but it's collecting dust. Saturation looms large. With 3 billion gamers, growth is slowing. Mobile downloads dropped 5% outside Asia in 2024, and console sales may plateau as 60% of households already own a device. Investors are jittery. Gaming ETFs like Nerd and Hero saw 15% volatility in 2025, outpacing tech averages. Microsoft's $120 billion gaming arm is a titan, but Sony's $100 billion valuation hinges on PlayStation's success, with a 10% stock dip if sales falter. Indies suffer too. Tools like Unity cut costs, but 20% of small studios closed in 2024 as big publishers dominate 80% of revenue. Regulatory scrutiny adds pressure. EU's DMA and US rulings could force Microsoft to share Game Pass titles, cutting margins. Investors face a tightrope. High returns or a crash if the bubble pops. Lisa from Chicago asks, should I buy gaming stocks or run? This boom, or bubble, affects more than profits. Gaming employs 350,000 in the US alone, supporting $101 billion in economic output, but layoffs hit 10,000 in 2024, sparking unionization. 200 Sega workers formed a union in 2023. Gen Z, 32% of tech buyers, drives 60% of early adoption, pushing sustainable gaming gear, yet 20% report burnout from microtransactions. Culturally, gaming's mainstream, 36 is now the average gamer age, up from 29 in 2004. Esports, with $1 billion in revenue by 2024, rivals traditional sports, but 30% of players face mental health struggles from competitive pressure. Geopolitically, China's $45 billion market faces regulation, while US-Japan rivalry could reshape trade. Paul from Berlin notes, gaming's my escape, but it's also my stress. What's next? Optimists see cloud gaming hitting $8 billion by 2025 and VR, AR reaching $370 billion by 2034, with 5G boosting mobile. Pessimists warn of a 10% revenue drop if saturation hits, with GTA Vice 2026 launch a make-or-break moment. Sales could hit $1 billion in weeks or flop if hype fades. Indies might rebound with AI tools cutting costs 30%, but big publishers could consolidate, owning 90% of IP by 2030. For gamers, expect cheaper access via subscriptions, but fewer risks. Investors should watch Microsoft's cloud play and Sony's hardware pivot, both could double down or crash. The Econ Barbarian sees a crossroads. The gaming industry's $200 billion beast is roaring. But is it a boom or a bubble? You're not just playing games, you're part of a financial revolution, or a potential reckoning. Stay curious, stay sharp.